When lockdown hit during the times of COVID, it was a horrible time for the humankind, right? I don't know how to put it, but it was kind of a blessing for us. After Shark Tank appearance, after Shark Tank season 2, after having Anupam Mittal on board, he quickly introduced us to quick commerces. We didn't have vertical sealing, packaging machines back then. We used to pack those bags with our own hand. So I think that was my favorite business memory that I have.
Hello everyone, this is Monica, your host for StartupPods by Ideas to Impact Hub and Bingepods. This is a startup and entrepreneurship focused podcast where we have 6 segments. Each segment has solid takeaways which you can implement in your business. So we'll start with our first segment, which is P&L. So I want to know from where your revenue come and what are your top expenses.
So Monica, we initially, when we started this company, we were a online only brand. We used to just do D2C, which is people ordering from our website. And my mother had, poached into many of these groups that societies have, and she would bring a large chunk of our orders through WhatsApp.
Okay.
So we stuck to that. So we have WhatsApp as a channel.
All right.
We have our website. After Shark Tank appearance, after Shark Tank season 2, after having Anupam Mittal on board, he quickly introduced us to quick commerces.
Okay.
So when I say quick commerces, I mean Blinkit, Zepto, Big Basket, Amazon. So all of these, quick commerces and e-commerces are basically my biggest source of revenue, apart from my website and WhatsApp. Because we are grown in Pune, Pune is a home ground. We have retail presence here in more than 75 retail outlets.
All right.
So that's also a part of it. So, but if I have to give you a ratio, 60% of our sales come from online and quick commerce.
Okay, great.
And yeah. And your next question was my expenses.
Top expenses, yes.
So my top expenses for me, because we are a Aata company, my top expense basically is my raw material.
Okay.
So that's our biggest, it's a commodity product.
Correct.
So that's our biggest chunk of expense that we have.
All right. Okay.
Our inventory.
And how's your scale? How many cities do you cover pan India?
So today we cover 20 cities through our quick commerce partners.
Great. Nice.
And through our website, we cater all over India.
Okay. Even tier 2 and tier 3?
Yes.
Great. So the next segment is opportunities. And I would like to know what are the opportunities within the business and your company's current hiring requirement towards the opportunities.
So the biggest activity that happened after Shark Tank was basically understanding our target group.
Okay.
Right. And initially, when we were doing it on our own, our data was smaller, right? We didn't have access to, basically pan India. Right. Most of our customers were out of Pune. So once we started getting this data, right, when we started supplying pan India, we initially started with 2 cities. From 2 cities, we went to 4, 10, and then now 20. Right. So we kind of understood that, the niche that we're catering to is similar to the people who are on quick commerce, which is why the uptake is so good currently. Right. So this year's goal is to basically double down on our quick commerce revenue and focus more on engagement with our D2C. Right. And since we raised a very small angel round when we started with Anupam, which was for 40 lakhs. Getting opportunity into GT and MT is easy, but sustaining that is difficult, right? So GT is basically general trade and MT is modern trade.
Correct.
Right? So sustaining business there, because it's an inventory game, right? And we are a small company. We don't have enough working capital or the bandwidth to have that money to basically have our product shared, right? So we want to we want to focus on, instead of, horizontally, whatever's working for us vertically first, we want to scale it to the utmost level and then move to other opportunities like your offline stores across India, maybe your larger players like D-Mart and Star Bazaars of the world. So basically that is a little bit of horizon on our growth plan.
Okay. And how are you hiring for this?
Can I tell you a small story about how we started this? So initially, when we started this business, it was just my mother, me, my father, and one mill operator.
Okay.
Right. So this is how we began initially, and for the first 4 years of the business, it was just a passion project for my mother. Right. Unfortunately, we had gut health issues at home, where my father had a stroke in 2017. He was in the ICU for 60 days, and then my brother was in the ICU for the next 45 days. Right, back to back. So my father had a stroke, and my brother had intestinal adhesion. Both these problems are related to gut. Right, and my mother was very upset about this, and so she's an ISC grad.
Okay.
Right, and she's done her PGDM in nutrition and dietetics.
Great.
So she said, I'm going to use this to make our house healthy. Right, so we are North Indians. Roti, paratha is a very big part of our diet.
Correct.
Right, we don't start our day without it. So she started with that, getting us the right grains and all of those things. So this is how we started. We didn't know that we will need a purchase guy tomorrow to basically source and procure for us. We didn't know that we'll need someone to account for us. We didn't know that we will need a factory head who can take care of operations in our absence, because we are going to be looking for more business. We are going to be on the go at all times.
Correct.
Right. So this is basically how we understood. We understood the need of hiring as and when it came. So it went from us handling all the operations to us identifying what is lacking, what is not my expertise. Like, I'm not an accountant. I am an engineer.
Right.
That is my background. Right. It's the last thing that I can do. Apart from being an engineer, I'm also a Marwadi. So business might come easy to me, but accounting is definitely not my game. Right. So an accountant and then a logistics manager, someone who has worked in the industry with other logistics company like your delivery, DTDC, etc., because we need them on a daily basis. So someone who is acquainted with their POCs, vis-a-vis me going. So initially it was me who went to these companies, and me and my mother, right? My mom on the procurement side and me on the, logistics dispatch and all of those things.
Okay.
So initially all the responsibilities were split between just the two of us.
Okay.
And my father would help us with the accounting, because that's his background. But now we have 30 people working for us in our team, out of which 5 people are in admin with roles like accounting, logistics, factory head, dispatches, quality check.
Okay.
And the rest are labels. So
great. Nice. Okay. Got it. So the next segment that we have is Business Ka Kissa. So we would like to know the most important Business Ka Kissa that you had in your life or in your journey.
So, when lockdown hit during the times of COVID, it was a horrible time for the humankind, right? All of us were affected by it in my family. And we were and my dad being a heart patient was, it was a very scary time, right? But I don't know how to put it, but it was kind of a blessing for us. Because people suddenly got so aware of what they're putting in their gut.
Correct.
Right. They really wanted to get the right things. And second thing, there was a shortage of, your daily essentials. Right. Essential goods were, if you remember, shops were shut.
Yes.
There were lines of people going to, get ration, kirana stuff. So that basically became a turning point for us. So we had tied up with a local commerce brand where we were probably doing 500 kgs a month. That was our sale back then, 500 kgs a month. It went from there to suddenly we had, 800 to 1,000 kgs a day kind of orders.
Oh, great.
Right? And only in Pune.
Okay.
And there were just 4 of us, me, my mom, my younger brother, and the mill operator.
Okay.
So we have basically, operated the mill. We had only 2 10 HP machines back then and a 100 square feet warehouse where we operated from. It was your quintessential Aata chakki only, right? So that's basically, I felt like if we can do that, and we would do our deliveries from a 10-year-old Alto that we had back then. So we had a 10-year-old Alto, we would fold the seats, put 500 kgs is what we could do at once.
Okay.
So I would take these trips twice. Me, my floor operator, because he was also the dispatch guy for me back then. Right. And if I hire a truck or a commercial vehicle, it wasn't possible to hire a commercial vehicle back then. because of lockdown and all of those things. There were a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
So this was like, we felt like this was the biggest battle that we fought. Because when you're on the way to dispatch, even the cops will ask you 100 questions. Why are you out? It's a lockdown. Yeah. So we would get away with, the essential goods thing. And we had this, we used to get those government attested.
The stamp for your vehicle.
Yes. We are for essential services.
Okay.
Somehow we got that and we started, dispatching with our old car, which was about to crash anytime. But we did that. And I think that's basically when I felt like this business can actually take off, because we were seeing like hundreds of packed Aata packets made from those 2 10 HP machines and 1 mill operator. And we didn't have vertical sealing, packaging machines back then.
Right.
We used to pack those bags with our own hand. So I think that was my favorite business memory that I have.
Great.
The first time when you see a big consignment of your, product go, it's a different feeling altogether.
And even in that too in the lockdown.
Yeah, it was very inspiring. Like I got inspired by myself. That's how
Amazing.
Nice it was.
Amazing. So next segment that we have is sales pitch. So we would want to hear the sales pitch from you. 3 minutes sales pitch maybe.
So you guys heard our story. You guys know what we're trying to do as a brand. As a brand, we are trying to create an alternate CPG brand of Aata, where all the nutritional facts and contents are in check. Because what happened to my family shouldn't happen to anyone's family, right? And we are here to solve for that. If one family can impact 2.5 lakh families now, at Sharmaji Ka Aata, I'm happy to tell you that we have served 1 million tons since our appearance on Shark Tank. And if this is the impact that we want to create, I will need your support to basically take our product to another level. And try Sharmaji Ka Aata. It's the best Aata in the world.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. So next segment that we have is crystal ball.
Okay.
So I want you to predict your future, the business future. You can tell us top opportunities and top threats.
So, if you ask this question to any entrepreneur, they would want their businesses to be the biggest business that there is in the world, right? So that's what, when I see Sharmaji Ka Aata on every Chaudhari, in every Chaudhari shop, Kirana store, that's basically what we will call success.
Great.
Right? Because it's been a dream, like any other big brand, that's where we aspire to reach.
Right.
So that's basically what we want to do, not just in India, but globally.
But where do you see the opportunities and top threats?
So, like I mentioned to you, opportunities, it's Aata, it's a daily consumable, right? So it's sky is the limit with opportunities. But top threats are basically the kind of operations that we have, like currently, to maintain our quality. We still use traditional methods to grind our wheat, right? So we have figured a way out of scaling this business to a certain level.
Okay.
But post that, how are we going to do that and keep the quality in check is basically a fear that any founder would have, right? To consistently keep delivering the same thing to your customers.
Correct.
Right? Just like Apple always comes up with a great device and all, So basically that would, I think, moving from a traditional setup to a larger setup and keeping my quality the same would be the largest challenge. I wouldn't call it a threat, but largest
that's a challenge
that we have.
Right.
And second thing, for building any FMCG brand, what we have realized is there needs to be a lot of, money allocation. There needs to be a lot of capital raise and stuff like that. Because money makes money. There's no way that we can make a consumer brand without, money. And keep providing the healthiest and the softest of Aatas that we can to our customers.
Great. So the final segment that we have is rapid fire.
Sure.
So you have to quickly answer a few of the questions that I have for you.
Nice.
So a course that you could recommend to our audience.
Start a business. That's coarse enough. Practical knowledge is the best knowledge.
Right. A book that you could recommend to our audience?
Atomic Habits, I think.
Okay.
It's one of the best books I've ever read.
Nice. An app that you could recommend to our audience?
PlantNet.
Okay, PlantNet. Great. A quality that every startup founder should possess?
So I always think that ideas are a dime a dozen. It's all about execution. And for execution, you need perseverance. I learned this from my mother.
Okay.
And I think every entrepreneur should have it.
Great. A mistake that every founder should not make?
Try to keep the cost of learning at the very minimal.
Okay.
Because when you have the money, you bound to make these mistakes where, I mean, if from the roots of it, if you're always frugal from the beginning, things are much better and you understand the value of money. Like we come from nothing. We had a very bad patch in life where we didn't have any money at all.
Okay.
So now we value money more than anything. So I think if the founder has that, there are going to be lesser number of mistakes. And the responsibility of money, right? When you take that money from someone against equity, it's your responsibility to help your stakeholders win, and for that you need to win.
Right. Great. The last rapid fire question is the quality that you could spot in new hire.
So right away, I think you understand if the person is sincere by the way they come to the office. If they're on time, and it's a regular occurrence. I think it's the easiest thing to spot, right? I'm working myself on it.
Correct.
I was 20 minutes late to the podcast, so yeah.
Okay. The last question that I have is, who would you endorse for your brand?
So my mom has this dream of having Akshay Kumar as our brand ambassador.
Okay.
Right? I mean, because he's fit, everything matches. So she has this, we have this inside joke at home. Bhatia ji will sell Sharmaji ka aata. Bhatia ji or Sharmaji. She keeps making the... yeah. So she's like, I don't mind changing my Aata's name to Bhatia ji ka aata.
Oh.
That's how much she wants Akshay Kumar
to
endorse our brand.
Great. All the best for your
Thank you.
future.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.